It's Friday, the 1st of June 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. So June is the 6th month of the year, and so we're going to have the 6 energy in the Root of the Life map all month long. And 6 is about harmony. It's about keeping the peace. It's about negotiating, and it's about seeing balance. So that's a beautiful energy to take us through the month of June. Today is the 1st, of course, and safety energy lock number 1 in Jin Shin Jyutsu came into the universe, meaning the prime mover. So it is the part of the body, it's located, on the inside of the knee, and the inside of the knee is the part of the body that moves into the future first. So as soon as you take a step forward, the inside of your knee leads the way. That's why number 1 is the prime mover. It's the initiator. It's new beginnings. It's also about being integrated. It's about being whole. 1 is a whole. So when we connect to that energy of safety energy lock number 1, we integrate all parts of ourselves. We are able to become more flexible so that we can appreciate that all parts need to be integrated. And you can connect to the energy of safety energy lock number 1 by holding the inner surface of your left knee with your right hand and the inner surface of your right knee with your left hand. So if you sit quietly with your hands on safety energy lock number 1 for 20 minutes, you really can feel yourself coming into your body, and you can feel yourself becoming centered and integrated. So body, mind, and spirit comes into alignment. 1 is a number of creativity. It's a number, as I said, of initiating new beginnings. It's a number of inspiration. So today you may find yourself feeling very creative, very inspired, and very optimistic about a new path that you might be forging. The 6 from June is a fire number, and it likes precision, it likes detail, and it likes beauty. In fact, it loves beauty. It doesn't like ugly. Now, this is wonderful because that 6 can help us to become really discriminating and can help us appreciate beauty deeply. But it also has a downside in that we tend to want to avoid ugly. So we tend to say that that part of me is not attractive, and therefore I don't want to integrate it into my being. And when we can also become very sensitized to what makes something imperfect. So that's imperfections in ourselves. I don't look good enough. My ass is too big. This is too this. My hair is too bushy. My what. So we do need to be aware that that is also a possibility, and that actually when the 1, instead of the 1 being really confident and integrated, the opposite of that is that the 1 can have a lack of confidence and can be unintegrated and can feel as if they've got extremely low self-esteem. So then then the 6 can become really nitpicky and critical. So please just be aware of that juxtaposition. We've got the 2 from 2018, which is keeping us in harmony with our emotions. It's helping us to see that both sides exist. It's helping us to stay focused on the fact that actually our shadow is just as important as our light, and that we shouldn't discard the one in favor of the other. The hero today is a 6. What's that? I have to think now, right? 7 and 2. It's 9. The hero today is a 9. And so when we have 9 in the hero position, we are deeply connected to our intuition. We know what we want, and we have a sense of curiosity. We approach the world with a curious attitude. And when we have a curious attitude, then we have no expectation of how it needs to turn out. And when we don't have an expectation of how we need it to be, then we tend to be able to relinquish some control, which means we keep the why. Why do we want something, or why do we want to be a certain way in mind? And we let the how take care of itself, because there are a number of hows, there are a number of ways that you can actually reach that goal. This is quite hard to do if you're a bit of a control freak. I mean, of course, I'm not one at all. Okay, so the 9, as I said, the 9 is the energy of the child. So 9s love to play. They consider exploring the world as being play. So it doesn't mean that you have to scarf off today completely, although you can, as long as what you do actually makes you feel energized and it stimulates that curiosity of yours. 9 in the hero position also helps to make us resilient. It helps us when we are maybe feeling less than we would like to. 9 helps us to bounce back. Now, the villain today is a 1. So that's why there was all that sort of negative talk in the beginning, because 1 in the villain position essentially is the critical voice in your head that keeps on telling you why you are not good enough. And because we have a 1 in the villain and we have a 1 at the first position of the life map, it's possible that if that critical voice actually gets to be in charge today, it will throw potentially the rest of the numbers into their reactive forms, which means that we can have low self-esteem, we can not see the beauty within ourselves, we can suppress our emotions, or we can judge our emotions. So, if you feel a certain way, no one can tell you your feelings are wrong. not even you. So if you feel sad, you feel sad. Telling yourself you're being stupid is hardly going to change that. It's only going to suppress the emotion. So today we really need to draw on that resilience, that curiosity, that wonder and awe that a young child has for the world, so that we can not stop, but so that we can become aware of that critical voice in our head, and we can give it a bit of airtime, and then we can choose whether we're going to listen to it or not. And I've said this in a clip before, the first thing you want to ask yourself is that really true? If it says, I'm so ugly, well, is that really true? Well, yes, of course, I'm so ugly. Well, is there any part of you that's even remotely beautiful? No. Is there anyone that thinks that there's a part of you that's beautiful? And I'm not just talking about your physical appearance now, that too, but I'm talking about everything. Well, yes. Who? Now, my mother. Oh, but that doesn't count because it's my mother. Okay, can you hear how absolutely ridiculous that is? That's the critical voice. The problem is the critical voice speaks with such authority that we absolutely believe it. And the critical voice is always in our own tone, so we think that we're speaking to ourselves, but it actually is the critical voice of some sort of authority figure that we had when we were young, that we felt we couldn't please for whatever reason. So if you're aware of it, you can stop it. You can become aware of it, you can listen to it, you can give it a bit of airtime, and then you can choose, are you going to listen to it or not? And ask yourself, is what it's saying really true? 100% factually true? Is there not a single human being on this earth that can say one good thing about you? Or that you mean absolutely nothing to not one single person? I don't believe that that's true. So, be aware of the critical voice today. Safety Energy Lock number 1, as I said, you can hold the inside of the knees or you can hold the thumb. The thumb harmonizes the stomach and spleen organ function energy. It brings the heart and the emotions into alignment, and it also harmonizes the tissue, which is the skin, and worry and anxiety. It stops us from becoming overwhelmed by the critical voice. So if that critical voice is yammering away, either sit quietly, hold your Safety Energy Lock number 1 for 20 minutes, or hold your thumb for 20 minutes. And if you say you don't have 20 minutes, that is absolute BS. You know it and I know it. So if you want to feel better, just do it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.